It has been incredibly cold here in Seattle the last week. We've had temps down to 12 degrees. That was the lowest that I found. And we've been kind of hovering between like 20 and 30 since. So it's been pretty chilly. But anyway, this is a follow-up on the Barbour J. Crew barn jacket. That's this guy here. So I just released my initial video for this today. It's been about a month, give or so, since I actually filmed that. And, the weather decided to cooperate with me, so I was able to test this in a whole bunch of conditions. So pretty much right off the bat, it was pouring cats and dogs. And I don't use an umbrella because I'm a native Seattleite. Interesting video I'll be doing on umbrellas later. Anyway, so I wore this guy out in cold, wet, rain, all that stuff. And happy to say that the wet weather performance is incredible. I don't know exactly what kind of wax they're using on this, and it's entirely possible that in addition to waxing it, they may treat it with some sort of DWR or something. I don't know whether they do or do not do that. I guess I could contact Barbour and ask them, but I just don't really care because it works well. So I would prefer no DWR because that stuff's nasty, but whatever. So the water beads up on this guy real well. It falls right off. Even when it gets soaked, I didn't get wet on the inside at all. And I think that's because it's filled with polyfill insulation. So since my last video, I've kind of checked this thing out, and dug around a little bit. And for sure there's insulation, and most likely it's polyfill. I don't know if it's, from a manufacturer like Primaloft or if it's just their own blend or whatever, but it's probably some sort of polyester. So this jacket is excellent for rain. Would you want to be out in an all-out downpour all day on a job site? No, that's what rain gear's for. But this isn't really built as a work coat, like around the ranch, if you're not crawling around under a car or under a tractor. I mean, I guess if you're working on a ranch, God only knows what you're going to get thrown your way. But if you're doing yard work or outdoor work and it's not necessarily really dirty, greasy, or like reaching around at odd angles a whole bunch, like this is a great jacket for that, just as a general purpose outdoors jacket, so long as it's not pouring cats and dogs. I had it out in some pretty serious rain, by my definition, heavy rainfall for at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and I didn't get wet at all. It dries out really quick. It has a nice feel to it. It does not feel oily. Of course, being wax cotton, it will have to be retreated on a somewhat regular basis, probably annually. So that's how it's going with this guy. Something else to note, this is a double XL. I'm 6'2.5" and 260 pounds last I weighed. So apparently all the weightlifting is adding weight before I lose fat. In any case, it handles cold very well. So insulated and with the wool lining, and just enough room in this guy for me to layer under it. And I can layer enough that I was comfortable wearing this down to 12 degrees. No problem. Standing still for a long period of time outside in 12 degrees, probably not a great idea. But on a walk around the neighborhood, taking my kid to school, down in the teens, this was doing just fine if I layered under it appropriately. It was comfortable, didn't have any problems. Something else I'd like to toss out there, and this is not unique to this jacket specifically, but this is the first jacket I've ever had that has the hand warmer pockets like up here, right? And so that is phenomenal. I love it. You can sit down at a park bench while your kid is playing and put your hand in your pocket, and it's not weird or awkward or odd angles. Like, you just stick it right there, keep your hand warm. That's fantastic. I don't like to restrict my mobility in my hands by wearing heavy gloves. The heaviest gloves I have are fleece-lined wool, and they have a mitten, and the mitten will come down, and you can pull the mitten up, and then it'll have like fingerless kind of design. I don't really like bulk on my fingers. I depend on my hands for everything I do as a tradesman. So I just, restricting my fingers doesn't feel right. So it's not a thing I do. So I really depend on my pockets and then having a nice hand warmer or something like that. But yeah, having the hand pockets up high like this over the cargo. I will say the one negative with this guy though has been when you are in heavy rain and rain is beating down the jacket, because this doesn't snap shut or have a flap over it, water absolutely infiltrates into this big cargo pocket here on both sides. That's something I noticed. So if you want something to stay dry, don't put it in here. Lift up this flap, put it in this pocket, right? So that's something to consider. Again, this is not a hardcore outdoor garment, but you know, doesn't mean you couldn't use it that way. Anyway, I've said enough on this. I'm trying to kind of rush through it because I don't want everyone to be overly bored and I don't want to give myself too much time to ramble. But really liking this. And this, oh, by the way, this J. Crew Barbour has replaced a couple of other items in my closet that I put up for sale, including my my shelter cloth. What is that thing called? It's called the shelter cloth packer coat. You know, I have other stuff I can wear to beat up working outside in inclement weather, and so I just decided to sell it because there's so much overlap with this that I just like this one better. So win for Barbour on that one. Okay, thanks for watching.